Hello everyone, my name is Anastasia and in this video I'm gonna talk about spicy tips and tricks in music production. YouTube is flooded with music production tutorials and is oversaturated to the brim. The more you watch, the more you realize, well, I kinda know that already, I've heard it before. And you know what? I need some juicy tips this time. If you already know the basics and you're somewhat advanced at producing, then you're definitely looking for that final touch to your productions, that embellishment, and something to stand out. You might be hungry for the new knowledge that will blow your mind, or at least do a solid attempt to blow your mind. Well, I'm here to share some of those taken out of the treasure chest that get rarely talked about. Because at the end of the day, even if it's subtle and nobody notices it in the mix, you can brag about how you produce a song. Even though the chances that you'll get asked about it are somewhere a bit above zero. But in all seriousness, pro producers use those unnoticeable tricks all the time. The small adjustments add to the bigger picture of the songs you're so used to hear on the radio. Once you learn those simple tips, your creativity might go to a crazy extent and you might turn simple tricks into unique and complex productions. The potential is unlimited. Who knows, maybe that's a path to your signature sound. And signature sound is a gem that not everyone gets to discover about their art in a long time. Yet nobody wants to sound like everyone else, right? Start exploring now, little by little. Incorporate those simple but not so ordinary tips and techniques into your workflow and watch yourself grow. For this example, I'm using Who Knew by Disclosure. So tip number 1 is get white noise, crackle, tape hiss, all kind of sweeps, even breaths, go through the drum bus first and then through the master bus. Another small tip here, don't forget to adjust the tempo of the crackle so it matches the BPM of your project. Throw the compressor on your drum bus to glue everything together. When crackle and sweeps get squashed together with the drums, it gives them some really interesting texture and character. It's cool the way those sounds interact with the drums while everything gets compressed. I'm using this reference track for a reason though, because I learned that tip from my favorite Disclosure and thought it would be cool to share with you. So let's give it a listen. Tip number 2. Add variation to your hi-hats with distortion. I'm talking about every other hi-hat hit. Add distortion to the hats and modulate it with LFO, in particular the tone of it. I'm using a stock Logic plugin, which is called Fat Effects, and it's getting modulated by modulator. In particular this section of it, with LFO. So I assigned LFO to Fat Effects distortion knob. I'm using soft saturation. So whenever the hi-hat is playing, it's moving up or down no matter what. It's doing it constantly, so every time you get a unique hi-hat hit. Let's have a listen. You can go even further with it and do automation manually. To make it easier, assign your automation to a knob on the MIDI controller and move it around on latch mode in Logic. EQ the heads afterwards. Also, add the compressor to control the volume, because some hits might get louder and others might lack in volume. Also, just like the rest of the drums, send the heads to a room reverb. And it's done. Tip number 3. This is more of a sound design tip. A quick and easy tip to make your kick drum sound original. Just send your kick through any effects in parallel for unique sound and texture. This tip would work great with any drum elements to give them some standing out sonic characteristics. I love using this trick on a kick, but it works just fine with any other drum elements or instruments. Go crazy with it. So this kick is going to bus 5, where I got my step effects on. You can use any effects you like. Doing it in parallel gives more control over the dry sound. I don't want this effect to be obvious, so I blend and mix it in subtly to taste. Let's have a listen. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and if it was, please give it a like and subscribe so you won't miss another one. We'll catch up in my next video. Goodbye!